In Jesus Christ. In today's gospel, we can see three things, or three aspects that Christ is talking about. If a person is being a reason for someone to commit sin, so if a millstone is being tied on his neck and let him be thrown into the sea, that would be fine and that would be good and fine. So he was telling like that, dear friends. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, every time when I talk in reflections, so sometimes I may be using the same words, but I am just trying in different ways or thinking in what way can I use some different words in my reflections. So that's how I think that I can improve my reflections, but still more I am not yet that much effective. And as in giving reflections, I need to grow, I need to pick up, I need to work hard. So as you see, in today's gospel, so a person, being a cause for someone to commit sin, so it is better that he be thrown into the sea with a milestone, with a millstone tied on his neck. So this can be connected with the first reading of today, because in the first reading of today, as Paul was he was telling he was writing the letter to Titus, saying that how a person should be, how a child should be, how a man should have one child. Man should have one child, one wife, and then child has to be good children. They should not be rebellious. Rebellious, which means they should guide the children. They should guide the people as well, the community members. They should not be led astray. They should not be led into sin. They should not be willing to do sin in their lives, but they should live a holy life. They should be a good person. So like that, Paul was telling. So that's how we can see the connections in today's reading, in today's gospel as well. So if a milestone, so for instance, how we can take, dear friends, many things, in our lives, many things. For instance, you take a child. If the child is desiring to get something, so it will go and get it by all means. If the thing is possessed by someone else, if for instance you take a pen, if it is possessed by someone else, the child desires for it and it will go and take the pen, and it does not know it is stealing, it is a theft. But the parent has to teach the child, either by beating or giving punishment, that this is sin, this is stealing, this is not to be done. You have to be a good person. You have to grow as a good person. Should not steal others' things. Should be taught. If the mother is not teaching, so what happens? The child may grow like a bad person in the future. It may go on stealing something, whichever it wants. So that's how, dear friends, it has to be taught. Otherwise, the mother becomes the reason for a child to commit sin in the future. So therefore, dear friends, this is the one point, and then he also talks about forgiveness and faith. So we need to have faith in God's forgiveness, so that it will release us from guilt, and it will renew our relationship with God through repentance, dear friends. So therefore, let us build faith in God, and then let us learn to forgive others. Forgiveness cannot be easy, but it can be practiced. With the constant practice, we can make forgiveness easy in our lives. So therefore, dear friends, this is the short reflections that I derive from today's readings, today's first reading, as well as the gospel. So let us practice these things in our life. Let me not be a reason for someone to commit sin. Let me forgive others, and let me have faith in God's forgiveness.